What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the third season of this Jets rebuild. I'm so excited because this is actually the furthest we've ever gotten in a rebuild for either technical reasons or just whatever. We haven't really gotten this far before, and I'm really excited because, yeah, the second season was disappointing, but I feel like we've had two really good drafts, some good free agency. We just brought in Landon Collins to this Jets team in free agency and had a good draft, so I'm excited. I think third season is the charm here, and I've been so happy with your guys' just responses in the comments. Seeing as I am kind of new to the rebuild game, it's been great to see what you guys want to see and implement that into the series. You guys said you wanted to see 2 games an episode. I tried to make that as often as possible, and now via the comments, a lot of people said they like the 3 play the moment system that we've been doing, but they would like to see a game or two a year where I play a full set of offense or a full set of defense. So we are going to change up a little bit how we do things this year. So in the past, we've done every game. We've been playing every game against teams that are 500 or better, and in those games, we would do 3 play the moments with a maximum of 1 full drive. So we're still going to do that, except we're going to pick 3 games a year to do that as we go. So we'll pick the most pivotal moments of the season to do that. And then what we're going to do differently is 1 game on the season, we are going to play every offensive snap. On another game, we're going to play every defensive snap, and that's going to do it. We're going to sim the rest of that season. So 5 total games will be played, and I'm excited for that format. A few other ground rules: overtime is fair game to play whatever I choose I want to play, and in the playoffs we will do the 3 play the moment system. So I've been going through the roster here. You've been able to kind of see what we're looking at this year. I'll go back to quarterback and give it a quick rundown. I have taken the liberty of signing some undrafted guys here. So Frank Lacey, undrafted rookie quarterback, we're going to bring in 91 throw power, fairly mobile. We're pretty happy with Darnold as far as, he's now a superstar development, so this should be a big year for him, take a big step up in the third year. Running back, I signed TJ Yeldon to a 1-year deal, should make an impact as a third down backup back. Just add some good depth there. Between those 3, we've got some pretty good running backs. And then at wide receiver, of course, we added Sellers with the 3rd overall pick. Big, fast, strong guy, quick development, so he's going to be fun. But we were also able to grab this Rayshon Patrick, 5'11", 180 pounds, good athleticism, good catching ability. So we'll see if he can get involved in his first year as an undrafted free agent. Tight end, still going to be a position of need. We're going to kind of rotate these guys around, see who we like. And then offensive line, we signed George Pete as a free agent ad. We'll see when we get to cuts and depth charts how we really want to play out this offensive line, because we got a bunch of bodies, but really no studs up front here. And we are going to develop offensive line starting this year, which we have not done in the past. And then on defense, we still got Carlos Dunlap here. We snagged Cameron Spence in the mid rounds. This guy's going to be a pretty big impact for us, I think. 80 finesse moves, so he's going to start for us on the edge. D-tackle, Chase Miles was drafted here, so he's going to start. And then we had Christian Gordon and Joey Washington in undrafted free agency. And then our linebackers were pretty set. This is the strength of our defense: Darren Lee, Avery Williamson. I did pick up this Brady Grimm, who looks like a good athlete here. And then, of course, Anthony Barr, who we added in free agency last year. So we've got a couple big free agent ads here with Anthony Barr and now Landon Collins. And then at corner, we're okay. We need to see Nick Barton, our first-round pick from last year, step up. Freak athlete, but has that slow development. Didn't really do much as a rookie. Might need to add someone to play in the nickel here. And then at safety, we are loaded with Jamal Adams and Landon Collins. And then Roby Benford, who started all of last season, and Marcus May, providing some good depth for us. Before we get moving, we do need to take a look at the sliders. We're going to move some things around here because it was so tough on us last year. Still want it to be difficult, but not quite as hard as it was. So we're going to move QB accuracy up to 50. Just a lot of crazy misses. Pass blocking was rough. Not much we can really do about that. There's a chance we go down to All-Pro in our 4th season, but for this season, we're going to stick with All Madden. I think the rest of those settings are pretty solid. As for the defense, I'm going to lower the pass coverage another 10 here. It was just a little bit too hard to get receivers open. And then the injury settings, fatigue, that should all be good. So we will go ahead and advance here to the next week of the preseason, really skip ahead to week 4 here. So really for our training here, we're going to be focusing on offensive line and receiver, two big young groups that we need to improve a lot on this season. And then we're going to focus on D-line and defensive back. We're really focusing in on these offensive linemen. It's going to be slow moving for Chris Kelly, Fisher, McKenzie, just normal development, but we really need that offensive line to be better. That was our biggest problem last season. And then it was also a recommendation to change the scheme to a spread. I think I saw New York Giants as the recommended offensive playbook. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we're going to make the full transition to a 4-3 defense here, seeing as we have Anthony Barr here and Landon Collins, who's a similar player to Harrison Smith. We're going to go and take some things from the Vikings and go with the Vikings playbook there defensively. Before we decide on our cuts, let's see if anyone has stood out from the preseason. Sam Darnold looking pretty good. No interceptions so far. That's the big thing we got to improve on, is Sam Darnold's interceptions. So Pierce Bowers making his name here, 10 catches for 107 and a touchdown. Might have to give him the number 2 job here. Niall Adkins, also a good little preseason here, kind of a freak athlete that we picked up last year. The other guy we picked up this year, Rashawn Patrick, getting involved. So, these receivers, I'm expecting a balanced approach. We're probably going to move around the depth chart as we go through the year. So Kelvin Beachum really struggled. Brandon Shell gives up 2 sacks. So we might look to cut those guys and go to the youth. Boswell is our leading tackler. Good to just kind of have that basis here as we go to the cut screen. So Case Keenum did get hurt, so we're going to go ahead and probably put him on the IR, designated to return, because Frank Lacey actually looked pretty good in the preseason there. So let's see if we do that real quick, if that lowers our cut number by 1. Keenum out with a foot fracture there, and it did lower our cut number, so that's nice. So I'm going to go ahead and put this rookie on the practice squad. Not very impressed with what we got there in the draft. And then I think it's time we move on from Trenton Cannon. I know we didn't really give him much of a chance, but I like the guys we have there. At wide receiver, time to move on from some of these older guys. We do have 6 guys ahead of them. We are officially all into created players here, but we've got 6 guys in this receiving core that we're excited about. Probably going to keep all 4 of these tight ends. Time to cut Kelvin Beachum after that performance. And again, we brought in Dwayne Brown, to be our starting left tackle. Probably going to go to Richardson at left guard. Probably move on from Deshaun Bond, but we've got 3 centers here we like. Ben Braden, time to go. I'm going to hold on to Shell for now, but we might be coming back to him. Send these 2 young linebackers to the practice squad. This Griffin Roundtree was a strong safety we signed and moved to outside linebacker. I'm going to practice squad him. Move on from Dylan Donahue. Practice squad this young man. We do really need a nickel corner. Let's look at the market here and see if there's any nickels available. Drake Kirkpatrick could get the job done there. Prince Amukamara. Aaron Colvin, a little more known for playing in the nickel. Quandre Diggs, Nevin Lawson. Now we're talking. Bryce McCain, or Bobby McCain rather. That's not Bryce McCain. I'm going to go with Aaron Colvin here to be our nickel corner. Still got 2 cuts to make here. Probably don't need 6 defensive tackles. Fole Fotosuki, I know he's a young guy with a lot of potential, but just not quite stacking up next to the rest of the guys here, so we'll let him go. And then I think we got to just let Brandon Shell go. I don't see him playing for us unless someone gets hurt, and we can probably just re-sign him if need be. So there's our cuts. Let's do our depth chart real quick. Actually, we can do our depth chart once we get to week 1 here. So we get through the preseason relatively unscathed. Not a whole lot of injuries, just Case Keenum. We can definitely live with that. Time to set our season goal. I'm going to be optimistic again and just say make the playoffs. Year 3, Bowles definitely coaching for his job now. Would have been interesting if we didn't have coach firing turned off completely, if he would have even kept his job. So already the training paying off for Richardson, get his overall up to. See what we can do for the other 2 guys here. 1 overall for Chris Kelly, the right guard. And another overall for Fisher McKenzie. So hopefully keep creeping those guys up towards the 80s as the season goes on here. So let's do our depth chart. Gonna make Sellers our number 1, Morris the number 2. And you know, with that 89 elusiveness, good catching traits, 83 route running, I think we got to make Rayshon Patrick our starting slot receiver right out the gate. Trying to join a list of good undrafted receivers to be good slot receivers, and then some good size really throughout the board. Definitely going to want to spread things out, get these playmakers involved. I'm going to go ahead and give Chris Herndon the nod as our starter again. Offensive line is set. Should be pretty much set for the rest of these positions here. Kick returner. Give it to Perry Nickerson and Elijah McGuire. Patrick can do our punt returning. And we're all set. So I think it's only fitting with the Patriots up here week 1 that we use this as our offense only game. Start the season off right. Get Darnold off to a good start for once in his career.